Okay, so I want you to, wherever you are sitting right now, just get nice and comfortable. I want you just to, if you can, do a bit of a stretch. Just put your arms around your, behind your neck, behind your back, wherever you can. Just stretch as much as you can. You might feel a nice little yawn coming on. That's part of the resourcing techniques. It's just to help relax and calm your body, checking in, see how you feel. Uh, so I want you now to close your eyes. Just take nice deep belly breaths in. When we take a breath in, I want you to take a breath from your big belly, almost like pushing out your belly through your heart, through your throat, and hold in between your eyes to the count of 3, 2, 1, and nice long big exhale, let go. Another nice long deep belly breath in through your heart, through your throat, and hold. 3, 2, 1, and let go. Just continue to breathe. Keep your eyes closed if you can. I want you just to feel, I want you to almost like sink deeper into your chair, wherever you're sitting, whether it's your bed, your chair. Just feel your whole body just relax, almost like melt, become liquid. Continue to focus on your beautiful breath. Deep breaths in through your nose and big exhales through your mouth. I want you to now to imagine that you're standing on Mother Earth. In a beautiful forest. Feel the bit of a wet grass underneath your feet. Smell the pine trees, the recent rain. Completely safe, secure, nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just be present in this very moment. And as you do, I want you to imagine you've got these two beautiful golden cords coming out of the soles of your feet, digging all the way down into Mother Earth. I want you to go as deep and far and wide as you can possibly go. And there in the middle of Earth, I want you to imagine seeing this beautiful vibrating black obsidian stone. And I want you just to wrap your cords around it. Just anchor yourself and feel that strength, feel that calm, feel that anchor, that love, the support. Feel that sensation of being held, being nurtured. And as you do, I'm going to ask you to scan your body. You can imagine you've got a third eye dropping into your body. As you're scanning your entire body from your hands, your arms, your head, your chest, your stomach, pelvis, your legs, feet, your entire body. Just scan it and just sense where you feel stuck. Perhaps it's some pain you're holding on to, whether it's a headache or shoulder ache or in between your blades. And as you do, just gently release that part of you. You can even imagine someone that's just massaging that spot where it feels a bit tense. Just enjoy this virtual massage. Continuing to take nice deep belly breaths in, out. I'd like you now to just unpick all your doubts, all your feelings of hurt, anger, resentment, fear, shame, guilt, all those heavy emotions, just let that go. Come like brown, murky water and it just flushes out of your feet, through your cords. I want you to send it to Mother Earth, to the black obsidian stone where it gets absorbed. Just let it go. It's not a part of you. It's just an emotion, a sensation. It's not you. Just let that heavy emotions go. Immediately feel a bit lighter, really opening up a bit more. Maybe if you can, do another stretch. Nice deep breaths out. Make a noise. No one needs to hear you. I'm going to ask you now to breathe in all the positive energies from Mother Earth. The stone vibrating with this pulsating energy. Love, protection, guidance, support. Just breathe it into your cords, into your body, into your cells, into your memory, to your bones, your blood. All the emotions that you're looking for. Just breathe that in. I'd like to ask you to put your one hand on your heart and another one on your navel. Just ask your body if there's anything else that it's looking for. Perhaps it's calm, peace, joy, release, forgiveness. Just breathe that in. And just imagine there's a tiny little hole at the top of your head. We're just pouring beautiful golden liquid light in, filling you up from your feet, your legs, knees, your thighs, your pelvis, stomach, your chest, arms and hands, your head, your hair. Just beautiful, covered by this liquid golden light. I'll ask our spirit guides, Archangel Michael, please put a blue cloak of protection over each one of us. A shield of protection over before us. Please fill this space. Beautiful happiness and joy, protection and love. Seal it with your light. No harm come to them emotionally, physically, or mentally. Let them be open to enjoy what needs to be received and let go what needs to be let go of. Thank you. When you're ready, you can come back to the present moment. If you want, you can just text in the chat box how you're feeling right now. Feel calm? Do you feel relieved? Whatever comes up for you, just chat it, just text it in the chat box. Held, yeah. That's it, lighter. That's our beautiful gift, right? This is what we have access to every single day. Don't have to wait for anyone to do this. This is our birthright. We just forgot. Relieved, yeah. Beautiful, thank you. Okay, triggered. I'm sorry, Arlene. Arlene is can I ask you just to put your hand on your heart and just to breathe in love. If anyone is feeling a bit emotionally or sensitive to this, just breathe in. There's a quick little tool that you can use to just calm your nervous system again. It's just a double sharp breath, in breath. The double sharp in breath. Okay. Okay. So just know that you are held, that you are loved. We're here to support each other. I hope that helps for you, Arlene. Okay. So I'm going to start sharing now. Okay, so we've got resourcing techniques, the somatic movement. It's what you came here for. And I will share as much information as possible about this. We like to start with this slide. We're on a mission to create 1 million rebels by 2030. And rebels is people like you and I who are resourced, who are fulfilled, who are happy. The rebels stand for becoming resilient. And the first step to resilience is becoming trauma informed. Empathy is how to learn self-compassion. We always talk about empathetic and emotional intelligence, but I think at the core of all these big words is self-compassion that we seem to elude, most of us. Breaking the rules. So it's not the laws, so don't worry, you're safe. But breaking the rules, which is those old limiting mindsets and beliefs and old stories that's been passed on from generation to generation to keep you small, to keep you stuck and keep you loyal, to make you easier to live with and work with. And this will help you to evolve so that you can adapt to this changes that is going within you. But at the heart of all of this, if you forget all of this and just remember one thing, never forget to lighten up. Trying to do things that that you find joy in, that makes your heart light up and just say, yes, this is what I'm here for. Because this is ultimately our purpose here on earth, is to be loved, to be safe, to be happy, to be joyful and experience this beautiful gift called life. So if you feel inclined to, we do encourage people to share their favorite rebel story on social media. Use the hashtag 1 million rebels by 2030, a moment in time where you were resilient or empathetic or breaking rules, and how that helped you to evolve and become more rebel, and then tag a friend to do the same. Who knows, it might be just what they were looking for to light their life up. Okay, so this is, I've extracted part of this resourcing techniques from the trauma-informed program. And as a part of that, you also get a happiness masterclass. So I've just shared a bit of information around this. So for us to start with resourcing techniques, it's a skill, right? Resourcing is just a skill, and it's really easy. Any skill is easy to learn if you practice, but it starts with you being able to open your mind. So if you are able to say, yes, I want to learn more, I'm going to open myself up to the possibility that my body can heal itself, that I'm here to take control of my life, my destiny, then magic will happen for you. Okay, so we called it's tracking. So we tracking is a form to stabilize our nervous system. So Irene, you've obviously had a few, you know what acupuncture, the NADA acupuncture is. I'm not sure if anyone else have tried the NADA acupuncture, but if you can try and find out, it was originated actually in America, so it should be quite big over there. And this was designed to help people. It was designed for veterans returning from the war, high PTSD, high anxiety, and even addiction from all the drugs they fed them in the war. So this was the most effective protocol because at the core of what it does is calm the nervous system. So the first 2 needles calm the nervous system, and then the last 3 needles detox the organs to help it make it nice and strong so your body can heal itself, you can sleep, you can recover. So what you do in tracking is first we ground ourselves. So this meditation that you've done with us in the beginning, that's the first step of grounding yourself. And I would highly encourage you to do that every single day. Before you start your day, just ground yourself, whether you are, it doesn't matter what stage you are in or what kind of person you are. Some people say it's only for people who live in the imagination. That's not true. That's literally for everyone, whether you are a very grounded person, or whether you sometimes find yourself getting quite spacey and leaving your body or your mind. Grounding is imperative. The next step is to identify sensations of distress, and then the third one is to always remain curious. Okay. So let me explain this. So we talk about the laws of nature. Now, as we all know, nature has got its own beautiful rhythms. We've got autumn, spring, winter, and summer. And just like the nature, our own bodies have also got this ability to move through different seasons. So our natural rhythms in nature exists with a human nervous system. Okay, so you can almost think of it as a tree's branches, the tree's roots is our nervous system. Okay, so our nervous system is that's the first thing that gets shot when we in high stress, or going through a lot of trauma, or anything that's not out of that sets us out of our comfort zone, that's uncomfortable. Like Dr. Gabor Mate, when we talk about trauma, it's not the event itself, but how we respond to it. So how we respond to the event in the world around us is our resourcing techniques, is our ability to be resilient, to bounce back. But most of us have not been taught that, because where do they teach that? They don't teach that in school. Our parents have not been taught this. Our grandparents definitely have not been taught this. So we just have to figure it out as we go along. So another thing is that we do not have to be trapped by these sensations of discomfort and pain, and we can start to draw attention to the feelings of well-being to transform our experiences. And it always comes down to one thing, and it's choice. So it sounds, it's sometimes a hard thing to hear when we talk about choice, how we respond to the environment, to things that happen to us. But we always do have a choice, and that's why when we come to the end, it's about being curious. What lessons can we learn from this? How can we turn this challenge into an opportunity? How can we see this from a point of love and light instead of the darkness? Because we can't transform and transmute any sort of darkness or energy into light and love. That is our power. We just need to step into it and accept it. So when we talk about grounding, in my meditation, I asked you, feel the chair, sit, sink into it. When you are feeling a bit high stress and you're feeling a bit anxious and triggered, do the 5 senses. So as you are right here, right now, always please remember to breathe. There are, I think according to research, something silly like 5% of the people on earth who actually breathe properly. We don't breathe properly. We breathe through our mouth. We breathe through our chest. We don't breathe through our diaphragm or our nose. Don't take nice, deep breaths in, hold, and let it go. So while you keep focusing on the deep breathing, I want you to now just look around in your room and just see something that you can see. So what do you see? Take note of that. What can you touch right now? What can you hear? Perhaps it's my voice. Perhaps there's a window open or a fan going. What can you taste? Maybe you just had a cup of tea or a coffee and you can still taste the after effect. And what can you smell? What can you smell right here, right now? And these 5 techniques are so simple, right? You don't need to be a genius to do that. And at any point where you feel over anxious, just come back to base. Deep belly breath in. What can I see, hear, touch, smell, and feel? Okay. We need grounding to feel safety and security. There's a fantastic book here called okay, it's not showing properly, but it's called Eastern Body, Western Mind. And she shares fantastic techniques and around the chakras. So does anyone know about the chakras, or do you all know what the chakras are? Your energy fields? Okay. So for those of you who don't know, it's our body is made up of 148 different chakras, energy fields, but we normally focus on the 7 that's in front of us. So the root chakra, which is just by your hips, in between, it flows down to your legs. That's for safety and security, and that's your grounding. So there's a lot of techniques for you to help just stay grounded, and you can do it right now. Whenever you feel a bit unstable, you're feeling a bit not the here right now, you can literally just, wherever you are sitting, just put your feet on the floor and you can just stamp your feet in it. Just stamp your feet on the ground to make sure you feel anchored. You feel it's that help, that form of support. There's something there underneath your feet that can support you. And this connection to earth is essential for our safety and building healthy relationships. So, oh my goodness, I'm so happy with all this research that comes out around how important nature and grounding techniques is for us. And they recently also shared again how it actually neutralizes the alkaline in your body. So we get quite acidic because of the foods that we eat and stress. So stress on its own is going to create high acid in your body. And that's where cancer thrives. That's where all illness and disease thrives in an acidic body. So literally just spending 10 minutes, 15 minutes in the sunshine outside in nature, you get vitamin D, which is a natural hormone booster. And you get the eons from Mother Earth that almost like literally absorb your energies, your negative energies, and transmute it and send some positive energies to you. I know some people, it might sound absurd, but this is scientifically backed. Okay, it's truth. Truth is Bob's. No lies. Okay, so the second thing we're going to look at is sensations. So sensations is just a physical experience. Okay, so it's not, and oftentimes we think we are that sensation. We are our thoughts. We are our feelings. It's not. When you do the happiness module, you will learn quite a bit around ACT. The how to acceptance commitment therapy. That your thoughts and your feelings is not you. It's just an extension of you. Your sensations as well. We delve a lot into the neuroscience around how these emotions respond in our bodies and how it affects our how we behave. So again, we mentioned here, sensation just originate billions of receptors that distributes to every part of the body. Okay, so it's yes, it's in your body, but it's just a sensation which your brain can switch and tell you what it is, something different. So you can shift the story, you can transmute it into something else, into a story that you want it to be. So I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but fear and excitement, the exact same sensation in our body. Okay, so when we feel fear, we can trick our brain into saying, "Oh, that's exciting," and it sounds strange, but I promise you, it works. I've done this a lot of times, and yes, it takes a lot of practice, and it's not going to be overnight, but it works. And you just got to have, you call it the happiness pouch. Have your happiness pouch there. What's this? What do you want to switch it over with? What is this feeling of fear? Anyway, I'm not going to delve into too much because I can speak on just this topic for hours and hours. But going back to sensation, your body responds to either a trigger, something that you see, and then you're like, okay, that is scary. I'm now scared because perhaps you heard a word or you saw a person or anything, and that's our body holding on to these stored traumas and emotions. Okay, so you have the ability to transform it and transmute it just by telling it a new story. That's why it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of willpower to start your transformation process, to transform your trauma into happily ever after. All our life experiences, our thoughts, our feelings, they correspond to these sensations within the body, right? And it becomes a habit. And there's neurons that's been formed, pathways that was created, and that's like we call it like the loop, and it just keeps on going around and around. So we've got 70,000 thoughts a day. 70,000 thoughts a day. Not all of them are true, right? And something like 80% of them is repetitive. It's the same as yesterday, and the same as the day before, and the same as the day before. We keep repeating our thoughts over and over, and this creates like a stored energy, stored feeling, a sensation in our body. Okay, so what you can do right now is just to learn the difference between sensations of distress and well-being, and then making that choice to pay attention to which one you want to feel. Okay, so if you're feeling distressful, where do you feel well-being? And there's different resourcing techniques that you can bring in there, and we'll do that shortly. But I want you just to let that sink in. It's choice. Okay, so we always have choice. We always have the power to transform our lives, and these sensations that we have. So this is what we could do right now. Okay, you've got a hopefully a quiet space already where you are sitting. And then focus on your breath. Begin with a few deep breaths to center yourself. And now scan. Okay, so we did a scan in the meditation, and I want you to do it again. So you can just sit where you are, just close your eyes. And just take nice deep belly breaths in again. And now just scan your body and feel for any sensations, any tightness, and just focus on one. The moment I feel my neck is quite tense, just going to move it, stretch it a bit. So feel your own, where you've got tension, where you've got sensation, stored emotions, where do you feel it in your body? And when you think of something that is a bit stressful, and I don't want you to go to trauma, I don't want you to go to something too intense. I want you to just go for something that perhaps a partner or colleague said something to you and it upset you or annoyed you. Okay, so let's just work with annoyance. Something or someone said something to you and it annoyed you. Okay, so close your eyes and just scan your body. You're feeling annoyed. Can you recall a time when you were annoyed the last time? I've got a teenage son, so he annoys me all the time. So I know exactly where that feels. And I literally feel my shoulder blades lift up. When I feel annoyed, I literally go like a bull, where I lift my shoulders and my head goes forward. That's my instinctive reaction when I get annoyed. So I'm ready to fight. So I want you just to check in with your body. Just feel in your body, where do you feel annoyance? How does it show up? Does your stomach go in a knot? Does your legs cramp up? Does your shoulders go up? Does your throat close up? Okay. And I want you now to just breathe into that. Breathe into that spot and just unleash it. Just release that tenseness, that sensation. Breathe through it. Sometimes what you can do is you can even push through it. And you can open your chest or open your stomach and open your shoulders. Just push through that emotion. Just let a big sigh out. Just let it go. Do you feel the difference? Do you feel a difference a bit in your sensation in your body? Okay. Again, these tools you can use at any time. I love this. Self-regulation skills can be a safety vest as we deal with our individual and collective stresses and traumas. So this is the beauty of these self-regulation skills. It's a skill, number one, that you learn, but it takes practice. It's literally like a vest, an army vest, like a vest, a protection vest that you put on every morning when you do your grounding meditation. That's part of your vest, your protection, and that helps you to deal with whatever's coming throughout the day. And whenever you feel triggered, whenever you feel anxious, whenever those fears or doubts come back in, check in, deep breath in, scan your body. Where are you feeling? Because unfortunately, we've learned to have everything here from the head up. Everything is here in our thoughts. How do we feel? We say, I think, I feel. Very few of us are able to say, I feel my stomach is in a knot. I feel my shoulders are tense. We say, I think, I think. And it's not about thinking ourselves into feeling, it's feeling. So it's almost like switching off the analytical mind so that we can tap back into our bodies and feel our sensations in our body. So then trauma-informed shift, we've got the conventional, which is where we think of people are bad, people need punishment. And we say, what is wrong with you? Versus trauma-informed is people are just suffering. People like you and me, we're just suffering. And we need an effective intervention. We don't need punishment. We need an effective intervention. Instead of asking what is wrong with you, we ask what happened to you. Because sometimes we can lack understanding and skills, but that can be learned, and that's the good news. And that is what you are doing here right now. So this is what happens in our bodies when we experience a traumatic event. It's our nervous system, first of all, that gets attacked and becomes overwhelmed. So when I'm sure most of you have felt overwhelmed at some point in your life, and some of us have experienced burned out as a result of that because we were unable to release this stuck energy, this high tension and anxiety in our nervous system, that we had no way to relieve it, no way to release it. And that's why, you might have heard of people who go through therapy for years and it just doesn't work, it doesn't help. So it helps to a certain degree, of course. Yes, I'm never going to debunk therapy because it does help to a certain degree. But then the rest we need to do with our bodies. We need to release it from our soma, from our energy points. So the next thing that happens, it stores in our these emotional energy stored in our body, and this becomes our survival stress. And unfortunately, what happens if we haven't had the tools and the resources, it stays there, and we never come out of survival mode. We just stay in survival mode. We don't even know what it feels like to not feel afraid or not feel anxious or not feel scared. And then what happens next, we start creating painful narratives. The story loop just goes over and over and over and over and over. This is what happened. It's trauma. This is a stressful, high stress. It goes over and over and over. And when it becomes too much, we create orphan parts. Parts of us disappear. And that's when we talk about not being able to be resourced, not being able to be in our bodies. This is what happens. We start leaving our bodies and we end up just living here in our thinking brain, thinking our way into feeling. And that's not going to resolve anything. And that's when we get repeated patterns and triggers keep opening over and over and over. Most of it begins in childhood. The implications is for our physical and mental health, and the outcome is throughout a lifetime. It's we will remember a story for when we were 5 years old. I can't remember anything before or after my trauma, but I can remember my traumatic event from 5, and I'm 44. So almost 40 years ago, 39 years ago, I can still remember as if it was yesterday. And it keeps triggering us up, right? We're unable to release these trauma stories. Okay. So in the program that I would love to gift you for everyone that's joining here today, we've got 10 modules where we go through understanding what trauma is, the different types of trauma, the impact of trauma, the neuroscience of trauma in the brain. It's fascinating stuff that we have available, knowledge we have available now. The role of attachment in trauma and relationships, why we always go for a certain type of relationship, and the connection between trauma, memory, and identity. It's big ones here. self-care strategies and resource techniques. I give you tons and tons of resources. And then module 8 is emotions. We've been taught not to show emotions. Don't show anger. Don't show hyper excitement. Just be neutral. Just be easy to manage. Attunement for coaches. So this is for leaders and anyone working with another person that's going through trauma. It helps you to attune yourself to it. And then the link between trauma and addiction. There's a lot of studies around it. And yes, there's been not mainstream, but it is becoming more evident day by day, the link between addiction and trauma. So for all you wonderful people, I'd like to offer you this program. So it's about 10 hours of content. You get question answers, you get a workbook, you get a live group session, coaching session in July, end of July. You've got a 21-day breaking habits journal. You've got the happiness masterclass, which is the masterclass on its own is worth this price, okay? But you get additional to this also 10 modules worth of content around being trauma informed, and it's £88. Yeah, I know it's crazy, but I just want to get it in as many hands as possible. It will go back to the normal price of £444, which is still a very good price for everything that you get. Plus, it's certified. So you get CPD points that count towards your professional development. And you can say you're a certified practitioner, trauma-informed practitioner. So that it's a no-brainer. Yeah, honestly, I want as many people as possible just to get their hands on this and learn about this. It really is life-changing. It changed my life. I don't know if any of you know me. Some of you know me and my story, but I've experienced literally all the different types of traumas that you can experience from a very young age all up until this day. And I've learned self-love. I kicked my addiction 7 years ago, started on this beautiful journey of healing and self-love. And I did a lot of research. I'm a journalist by trade, so love research. And it was only once I learned more about trauma informed that the last piece of the puzzle came together, and that was self-compassion. So this was literally the only part of me where I was like, wow, okay, now I understand. So this is something I'm passionate about and would love to share it with you. And we talk a lot about neurogenesis. And this is the ability to create new neurons and connections between the neurons throughout a lifetime. So they call it the brain cells that fire together, wire together. And that's our ability to transform and change our lives. We can change the way we think. We can change how we transform our trauma into happily ever after. And with these resourcing techniques, that is the key. It's all in the body. It's stored in the body. So just talking about it's not going to have as much effect as releasing it through different movements. So you can have tons of treatments out there. We've got yoga as one of the best ones. Something very simple, everyone's got access to a yoga instructor somewhere. MDR, grounding, dancing, playing, laughing. Yeah, there's honestly so much that you can do to help you release the traumas inside of you. So we always come back to the last one. That's the pause. So whenever you are in doubt, whenever you're not sure what to say or what to do, pause. Take a glass of water, take a sippy, take a deep breath. Doesn't matter. Just pause. Become aware. And I'm going to ask you to say that, and just wherever you are, when you're taking a walk towards home or towards work or just anywhere, I want you just to say often to yourself, I'm aware. And just that word on its own, I'm aware, the two words, immediately says like, I'm aware of the sky. I'm aware of being present, because it's only in the present moment that you're actually able to transform yourself, right? You can't change the past and you can't change the future because it's not here yet. The past is gone. It's right here, right now. It's only right here, right now that we can change and influence. That's being present. That's through pause. I'm aware. Okay. This is your game of life. You might not always win, but you gotta play to become unstoppable. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned a thing or two. Is there anything that you would like to share? I'm going to stop the screen share. Thank you for being awesome, because you are. Just for pitching up, you're awesome. I'm going to stop the sharing and the recording, and then we can talk.